Patient is a fraudster. He's a scammer. He's an idiot. He's a moron. Add him to my list of 5 people, now make it 6, of all these YouTube effing idiots who suck at investing. If you like his stuff still today, please turn off my video. I don't even want to be associated with you in any way, shape, or form, even if it means YouTube will actually pay me to have you watch my video. That is how much I hate Jeremy and all these scamsters and you. Let me get—
Wow. That, we're coming out hard and swinging. Okay. Like, I try to be cordial in my videos and give constructive feedback, but he's like, F this guy. Okay.
Give an example. But we posted a video a year and a half ago about Tattooed Chef. And he went on blast with us and said, these guys don't get it. I do my thorough research before I look at any numbers. It is currently at 6. That effing moron had the audacity to sit there and believe you have to know a company inside and out before you ever look at their financials. How's it looking for you now there, Jeremy? How about Voyager? Voyager Digital is down 99% since he said to buy it. 99 effing percent. For those of you idiots out there who don't know what that means, how long does it take to recover from a 99% loss?
Today, I share with you my next...
Wow. Okay. Have you all ever heard the term Shadenfreude? I think it's called Shadenfreude. Yeah. Shadenfreude. Pleasure derived from someone else's personal misfortune. I feel like we're all going to be sitting in a little bit of Shadenfreude today.
5x stock that I literally just started buying. This stock could actually end up being way more than a 5x. I just feel like a 5x is what I'm looking for in this stock. Let me show you how many shares I own so far of the stock. Okay, as of right now, I own 5,000 shares of this stock. So that's $93,000 worth right now. Cost base of $17.16 right now. Okay, now if it were to go down a bunch short term, let me be very clear, I'll buy another 5.
I was about to say, if it goes down short term, I'm going to buy more. This is such a fallacy when you are investing. If it's going down like this, to say, oh, I'm going to buy more. I'm going to buy more as it goes down because it's a discount, so I have to buy more. I am so excited that I'm not the only one calling out these financial scamming BS artists, right? Because only price pays at the end of the day. And if you are buying something that's falling like this, and unfortunately, PayPal is in a similar situation. SoFi, somewhat of a similar situation. It's more of a stage 3 topping pattern right here. It's not a stage 4 decline. But a lot of the stocks that he talks about, like Elf Beauty, like Estee Lauder, where are we at on here? Estee Lauder, right? A lot of these stocks, they are not good. They are, not only are they not good, they're straight garbage. Celsius actually had a brilliant move right here. But that doesn't take off the fact that it was a $92 stock in May of 2024, and now it's a $30-ish stock less than a year later. How big of a decline is that? It's still down 67%. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna get rough.
5,000 shares of stock, okay? Let's talk about the bear case for this company. You know, it can't just be about the reward potential. We have to talk about the risks. There are 4 main risks for this investment of mine here, okay? The first one is, what if a massive crypto crash happened? Where we're talking, you know, Bitcoin falls from, you know, it's been trading at $50,000 to $60,000 per Bitcoin recently, right? What if Bitcoin was to fall to 20,000, 10,000 or something like that and stay down there for a while? That would obviously probably hurt, you know, crypto in the short term, but I will say, if that were to happen, you know, it's hard for me to even believe that would happen now, because there's so much buying interest in Bitcoin. And I'm not just talking about from retail investors. I'm talking about from funds now. I'm talking about from companies. I mean, we've seen some of the biggest of the big companies just start to buy a little bit of crypto recently, right? Never mind if crypto was to go down to, let's say, 10,000, and I'm not talking about crypto, I'm talking about Bitcoin was to fall to 10,000, 20,000. It's hard for me to imagine that, right? And so it's possible. What if the whole Bitcoin market and the whole crypto market in general crashed? Okay, that's a bear case for this company. Obviously, that would potentially hurt the company in the short term. So I would say there's about a 10% chance that this stock drops 50% or more over the next 3 years, okay? About a 10% chance. There's about a 20% chance that the stock would still be somewhere around where it's trading at today in 3 years from now.
I would like to point out, this is the problem with projections right here. I've talked about this before, that having projections, having a target that you're aiming for, can set you up for incredible headaches, for incredible losses, for incredible missed opportunities, because you're going to be holding a stock saying, I think that it's going to go up, you know, between 10, 20, or 70% in the next few years. And if it doesn't do that, you're basically committing yourself to say, I'm going to hold it until it does 10, 20, or 70%. And then realistically speaking, if you think that it's going to go up 70% in 3 years, Why would you ever sell at the 10? Why would you ever sell at the 20? I would continue to hold because I'm like, well, it's going to 5x in 3 years. Oh, sorry, I was reading that wrong. But anyway, you get my point here, is that if you actually think that these are going to happen, why would you ever sell? And to his logic, why not buy more every time that it goes down? If it's going to 5x in 3 years, and that's the 70% chance of it happening, wouldn't you just mortgage your house and say, we can buy 5 houses here in a minute? Don't worry, honey, we'll buy 5 houses here in a minute because I'm such a genius. Having targets like this anchors you to something that is a fallacy. Same thing with these price targets that they put out here, like analyst targets they put out. Let's look at this one here. This is CRK. Analyst target here, 18. This one here moved from 10 to 18. Currently it's around $20-ish or so. And these targets are from the smartest people in the world, yet at the same time, while not as aggressive as Jeremy's talking about here, they don't actually mean anything, right? Because at the end of the day, if the price isn't moving up, if the price doesn't look like this, right, this is what you want. This is the kind of stock that you buy into. You buy high and sell higher. Crazy idea. But if you buy high and sell higher, you're buying strength. You're buying something where you have tons of people right with you, everybody holding hands and screaming, buy, buy, buy. You are part of this crowd, and that is what you want to be. Crazy idea. But if people are buying, you also want to be buying. So you get to run in a trend like this. If people are selling and you're the one dude who's buying, because it's 92% men, let's be honest here. Like Mari's the only girl who ever watches. If you're the one dude who's buying it at this point here, you're basically standing on the tracks with the train barreling toward you saying, listen, you got to turn around right now. And it's just going to mow you over. So let's continue on here.
I think there's a 70% chance this stock 5x's or more over the next 3 years, okay? And keep in mind, somebody I respect a lot believes this stock is going to 3x to 5x this year. And I'm talking from here.
On March 15th, 2021, Jeremy came out and said that he would buy Voyager Digital. It was a 5x stock. It is 27 cents today. How is that a 5x stock, you moron?
You know, I managed to not call this guy all the names
I wasn't ready for that.
he calls other YouTubers, but
God, what did it have back then that made you so interested? Because of crypto? Give me a break. And for a second there, he actually looks smart. He shows a screenshot. Here's a screenshot of his purchase of Voyager Digital, and it went up a little bit. He bought 5,000 shares, and it was up a little bit at $17 and some cents per share, and he looked like a genius. And I think it says margin on there, like he bought it on margin. Guys, it is going to get ugly. He has no process. It's amazing to me that he has his business, but he doesn't look at stocks as a business. If you don't look at stocks as a business, you have a problem. You should not be investing in stocks then, because that is what you're buying. You're buying a business. Will I have losses? Absolutely, I will have losses. But my losses are going to be based on a process, and I will buy more. When Jeremy and his other...
I assume he's saying his losses will be based on a process. He'll get out and then move on to something else. I think that's what he meant by he'll buy more. And that's the thing, right? What separates the best from the rest? What separates the best from the rest is having a plan. Now, what separates the best from the rest is that you guys are actually watching us and you get to understand why and how, and you get to follow along when I make trades that I put all these on. But you also understand why I go to cash for weeks at a time, right? There's no need to be putting your market or your money in the market at all times. There's absolutely no need to do that. You can make buttloads of money sitting in cash and aggressively going in when the opportunities are there. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work if the price is going down. And I wish that he had his own bullhorn to scream how only price pays. Because that's really what he's screaming here.
morons lose their money and advise you to lose your money, those losses are based on nothing more than hope and prayer. And so when it falls in half or 99% like Voyager Digital did today, Voyager declared bankruptcy this morning. When those things happen, you have to flee as fast as you can. When you have no process to buy, you have no process to sell. When my stocks go down, I reassess. And if my thesis is still the same, I buy more. You know,
I can disagree with that. We can agree to disagree here, because if your stock's going down, the stock is telling you that it's not the right time. And it's okay. It is a-okay to just get out, come back later, buy some more. Let's look at something like Coke, right? Coke's a great example. Look at this. Look at this, right? It went from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. The stage 1 like took 30 seconds, and then it had another aggressive stage 2 run up, right? If you decide, hey, you know what? The stock is going down. I'm going to get out of the way while it does. You can still do something like this, where it's going down, you get out, and you're like, okay, I'm going to get out at 67. I'm going to protect my gains. And then if it comes back up through 67, guess what? I can re-enter, and I'm going back in when the stock is going back up. I didn't have to lose any money in the meantime. I didn't have to lose any sleep in the meantime. I didn't have to dodge plates for my wife in the kitchen because I was losing money in the meantime. Okay, you can do this. There's nobody saying you have to hold the stock forever. Just get out, come back in. So we can agree to disagree here, but I like the sentiment.
Who else does that? Warren Buffett, Howard Marks, Charlie Munger, and Seth Klarman, and all the great value investors of our time. Those are investors. These idiots on YouTube who get a camera in front of them and all of a sudden try to push all this BS on you, it gets worse. Our host, Seth, last year decided to call up and see what Jeremy Financial was all about. He called up and scheduled a meeting with those salespeople. In the meeting, we have the phone calls recorded because he said that he wanted to record the phone calls and the guy agreed to it. He said, Jeremy's guy said that Jeremy's gotten 100 to 150% returns and 15 to 20% is pretty good, but Jeremy expects to get 30 to 40% returns over the next decade. How do you make 30 or 40% returns when your stocks are down 75 and 99%? Your biggest pump and dump stocks. We take this stuff seriously. We work with lawyers to make sure we're doing the right things to provide the right information to people out there. We're trying to teach a process for all you people out there who criticize us for being FUD investors. Guess what's happening now? Are my stocks down? Yes, they are down. Are they down like the market or like these other hype things? Not even close. And guess what I'm doing as my stocks go down? I am buying more. What are those?
This is weird. Okay. This is weird. This just took a left turn. Okay, hear me out. I'm trying to understand this. You're on the left hand, you're like raking Jeremy. Jennifer's my wife's names. You're raking Jeremy over the coals. Yet you're saying you do exactly what Jeremy's doing when you rake him over the car. I am seeing some like if I'm Batman and Jeremy's the Joker, this guy's Two-Face. Let's put that out there. I'm Batman. I was born in the dark. Jeremy's the Joker. This guy's Two-Face. We have established that we need to get the Justice League on this. Okay.
Those idiots doing? They're trying to create all this fuss around it. Like, oh, I didn't see Ukraine getting invaded by Russia. Guess what? I didn't see it either. But you know what? I factored it in. Something will occur someday that will affect stocks in a way that I have no idea how that's going to happen. That's why I buy good companies. That when that does happen, I buy more of the company.
Okay. Damn it, Jeremy. How dare you do what I do? That's the quote of the day.
When you follow these idiot hypesters out there, Jeremy, you are a fraudster. You deserve to be in jail, you sack of shit.
I managed to not call this guy all the names he calls other YouTubers.
Okay. This is getting weird.
But
you're an absolute sack of crap. I really, really hope. And by the way, mark my words. It is currently July 6th, 2022. Happy birthday, President George W. Bush. It is July 6th, 2022. Within 3 to 4 years, he will not even be talking about stocks if he still has a YouTube channel.
Well, you are wrong on that one, because he's still talking about stocks. And not only is he still talking about stocks, he's still talking about hot dog shit garbage stocks.
There'll be something else he's going, oh, stocks are stupid. Don't buy stocks. He'll delete all his stupid videos, pumping all the stocks if these companies are even around them. Voyager Digital. You might sit there and say, well, Paul, you're just picking on one. Go look at all of his picks. I encourage you, look at all of his picks, because Tesla.
Hold on. I wanna take 2 steps back here, because like it is so okay to find a stock that you think is going to do great and ends up not. Right? That happens to me all the time, right? Losing is part of the game. Losing is absolutely 1000% part of the game. You just need to be a better loser. Sounds weird, but you need to be a better loser, because if you are losing in a trade and then you get out. You can reevaluate the situation, get back in later, like I just showed with Coke. But like if I tell you something like, we'll just use random company. If I tell you that Apple is going up, I'm buying Apple today. And Apple goes up some and then goes down some. And then a year and a half, you come back and you're like, Chris said you should buy Apple today. Bro, I may have been in that trade for 3 days. Okay? These people are talking like they're going to hold this for the rest of eternity. I don't, this does not compute in my itty bitty baby brain over here. Okay. When they're talking about how like these stock picks are absolute garbage, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. People pick losers. And I'll give Jeremy a little bit of grace there. People pick losers. The difference, going back to our trading in the zone lesson here, the difference is the psychology, right? It is so easy to get out and move on if you understand and know where you're going to get out ahead of time, because then it's just following a roadmap. Then it's just 80% psychology, 20% strategy. I know I have to follow this plan that I put together. If I want to drive from Dallas to Orlando to go to Disney World, there's a map to get me from here to there, right? But if I take a wrong direction, if I take a if I start heading east and I take a left at some point and I end up in Nashville, or maybe I end up in Chicago, that's on me. That's on me. I was wrong, and I decided to stay wrong rather than correcting the issue and moving on. I think that is such a perfect analogy. I'm going to come back to that more often, but it's exactly like a roadmap. You have the choice to continue on the road, take a left turn, take an exit, take the wrong exit, and that's okay. You turn around because you see the Buc-ee's is not the Buc-ee's that you expected there. You need to turn around and head the other direction back towards Alabama and not headed north up through Tennessee and Missouri and any other state that's not on the way to Disney World. And then you can move on, right? And we don't have to get passionate. We don't have to get upset. We don't have to get screamy, yelly, name-cally, although I am Batman. We don't have to do any of that. All we're going to do is evaluate the data that's presented to us and make an informed decision. Do I need to continue on this road, or do I need to exit here and find a new road to get on? At the end of the day, it can be that simple. It really can.
That one's next. Tesla will be one of the last ones to fall, but it will fall as well. Why? Because over the long run, a company's value is going to be based on the fundamentals. And even if the fundamentals are good, if you overpay, you will lose. You should go out there and learn how to invest. I don't care how you do it. Learn it. Have a process. My process is based on value. And guess what? Here's the sign of the times. When the idiots on YouTube are out there making lots of money.
You can call me one of those idiots. That's okay.
That's how you know markets are overpriced. When they look at value investors like me who buy based on fundamentals and I'm considered the dinosaur on the street, that's how you know things are bad out there. So you might sit there and say, well, Paul, being early is the same as being wrong. Fine by me. But I encourage anybody out there, take me on a challenge. I've done this so many times on LinkedIn and everything. I challenge anybody to head-to-head competition over 10 years. And no one has effing taken me up on it. Why? Because they're all effing losers. Jeremy is one of them. Stock Mo, Tom Nash, all these effing chicken genius.
Tom Nash.
All these effing morons.
You know, I managed to not call this guy all the names he calls other YouTubers, but
they are going to end up losing lots of money and your money along the way. Go look at what I said about Cathie Wood back in February 2021 when that idiot Jim Cramer was saying she was a genius. Look at that idiot Jim Cramer now. What's he saying now? Bitcoin.
So Becca, I'm glad you mentioned that. So here's the thing. What's great about these videos is that we can learn in real time together. I can give you a pro trader's perspective on what's going on in the markets, A. B, I love to learn. I absolutely do love to learn. And there have been times where Jeremy actually taught me something. So I can learn from these people. And C, I want to make sure that I'm changing the course of YouTube stock discussion, right? A, you don't have to hold anything long term. B, not everything's going to the moon. C, adding to losers is a very, very dangerous game. So much so that one of the greatest stock traders of all time, Paul Tudor Jones, even had to put it on his wall. And most people don't understand that. And buying high and selling higher seems like the most foreign concept in the entire world, except that's how the market's played, because you're along with these people here instead of trying to buy low when everybody's screaming sell, hoping you're the one person to get the market to change. So, Becca, if this isn't for you, no worries. But I'm doing my very, 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 very best to try and re-educate stock trading YouTube because it's pretty ugly. And this dude, I don't like him. I thought I was gonna like it, but honestly, he's gone to like schoolyard bullying, name calling, stuff like that. It's not a good look. And you don't see me doing that kind of stuff.
Coin, there's nothing behind it. It could go even further than it is now. When just a year ago, he was saying how it's the future and everything's awesome and it's going to the moon. I don't get it. I don't get why people still listen to this BS. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Please turn off I don't want you to watch my channel ever again. You will have to suffer bad losses. But if what I say in my other videos makes sense, the one thing you can criticize me for is, geez, Paul, you say the same thing over and over.
That's interesting because I get those comments as well. I get those comments as, Chris, why do you do the same thing over and over? Why do you show the same slides over and over? Because this is what the market does. By the way, he looks like he's going to have a heart attack. Let's back this up real quick so we can get full context.
This makes sense. The one thing you can criticize me for is, geez, Paul, you say the same thing over and over. I know. I say the same things.
I thought he was going to like rip into it for a moment.
Over and over. You know who else does? Warren Buffett, Howard Marks, Charlie Munger, and all the greats. That's how I know we're right. We are consistent. Do we all agree on every single nuance? Absolutely not. I will believe in companies that other value investors will not believe in. But I've never, ever, ever, ever told a value investor, what the hell are you thinking? I just go, oh, see, I just don't believe that's correct. That's it. We move on. We're still like-minded people. But these idiots out there on YouTube who just put a camera in front of their face and call themselves a stock market genius because they have a few years of riding the hype. Guys, you haven't seen anything yet. 30% drop in the NASDAQ, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. People have to lose their asses, and it will happen. Well, you can learn. Learn a process. Watch our videos. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, and you want to learn more about how numbers actually matter, but more importantly, how the emotional aspect, it's so funny. I'm this irate.
Oh, that's real. He probably should have cut this part out. The emotional aspect, right? He's probably banging on the table when his stock picks are going down, saying, "This is a great company." Ah! Whereas, do not you dare meme that, by the way. He's probably banging on the table saying how great his company picks are, while at the same time, Jeremy's doing the exact same thing. Yet he wants to make it all about how awful Jeremy is. Okay. Okay. I'm ready to move on. And what I want to do is we're changing up the rating system starting today. Oh, by the way, I know I'm just some random guy on the internet. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Christopher Ewell. I've been twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I haven't yelled at anybody on the YouTubes yet, but I might. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. And if you don't believe me, there's playlists on my YouTube channel where you can go find that too. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where we save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. And let's start talking about some trending stocks here right after we rank this video. And if you haven't subscribed, of course, do so already. But we're going to do a new ranking system today. It's still 1 to 10. It's still 1 to 10. But now we got the S tiers and the C tiers and the F tiers and whatnot. And we're going to keep track of these, right? We're going to keep track of these week over week. And I want to see how these evolve. I want to see where we put these at the end of each week. And it could be actually really interesting. So where are you ranking this video? That's what I want to hear. Where do you rank this video? Jonathan came out quick with the 2. Imagine this guy on a golf course. I bet he throws the clubs. I bet he does too. I bet he does too. I mean, what's come over me, right? Actually, I saw a video this weekend where they were ranking stuff on S tiers, and I'm like, oh yeah, we should totally do that. It's like a YouTube thing, right? As a YouTuber myself, one of these idiots who puts a camera in front of his face and talks about stocks like he's a genius, as the guy in the video just said. Yeah, I guess I'll throw myself into that too. Just a random guy on the internet, as I like to say, 2.5s, 2s, 1s, 3s, 2s. I feel like we got lots of 1s and 2s. We might just have to a negative 1 right there. Sarah, F, and a 2, and a girl. Y'all be cool. We got a couple girls in the chat today. Sarah, I'm glad you're here. Mari says a 4. Manny came with a solid 1. Manny, I agree. This was painful, honestly. This was a 2 for me. This was really painful to watch. Now, granted, I don't want to fill this up saying how we're so smart and blah, blah, blah on everything. No, every one of these videos is an opportunity for us to learn. And this one, I think it was an opportunity for us to discuss how adding to losers is not a great plan. And that if you are going to be on the market, just follow your own plan, follow your own map, and you'll probably do a lot better than just randomly picking stocks on the internet by some random guy on YouTube. So we're gonna leave that one right there in the F tier. But let's jump over to some trending stocks. Let's take a few of these, and then I want you to start putting your stock picks in the chat. I want to know what you're looking at lately. Let's look at MLGO first. So let's see if Outlier covers it. Outlier covers 2,500 of the biggest stocks out there. Let me double check that I typed it in right. MLGO. No, but we don't cover MLGO. So let's go just look at the chart of MLGO real quick. Huh. No wonder we don't cover it. Look. This looks like a Jeremy stock. It's been reverse split so many times that it shows like $2,000, $3,000 prices at one point. Yeah. Who's buying this garbage? Not me. Not me. Let's move on. Riot. Let's go to Riot. RIOT. Okay. So Riot has a buy signal. We're going to zoom in on the 3-month chart. And then while that loads, let's go over here to this chart. Let's zoom up to today. So right now, Riot's got 10, 20, 50 pointed down. Does it have earnings? It looks like it either has earnings today, before or after the close today. But 10, 20, 50 is pointing down. So this is a bearish trend. Even though we do have this buy signal right here, to me, this is not one I would be interested in buying. If we want to look at the behavioral heat map, you can see here, it started to come out of the fear toward the greed, but it's still somewhat in the fearful area, right? And here's the thing with the buy and sell signals, that's not the end all be all, right? You need to take your own stance on the market and say, like for this one, for me, I wouldn't take that signal personally because it is in a downward trend. And we're still seeing more fear coming into it rather than more greed coming into it. So I would skip Riot this time. Let's go to the next one here. Tesla. Of course, Tesla. That's always everybody's talking about Tesla. Wait a minute. Eric, you know the deal. Nobody gets a 7, okay? Nobody. All right. Tesla right now getting more and more and more fearful. Now, here's a great example of reading the data and knowing when to get out, okay? So it's getting more and more fearful this way. So that's one reason I definitely wouldn't be owning it. Let's go over here. Yeah, all the way down like this. Starting a stage 4 downtrend is what it looks like it's doing. But what I mean by reading the data, right here, if I had taken this buy signal here, that was within the uptrend, the 10, 20, 50 outlier trend template pointing north. And you can see here the behavioral heat map showing a value of G17 at entry. And it went 17. Let me show you my exit points real quick. This is how you optimize exits, honestly. Between G0 and G25, I give it a 10-point spread on the behavioral heat map. So we go 17. So 10 points is 27. 19, 22, 25, 28. So this here, December 18th would have been my sell signal. So if we look in here, between December 12th and December 18th is when I would be in. I wasn't in, but I would have been if that had followed my plan. 12th and 18th. All right, so close to close. Made $22 on the stock, 5% move. I mean, if you're buying call options here, making $22 is not bad at all. In the span of 4 days, that's how I would have traded it. Now, that's why I want to show you that I don't wait for the sell signals to come through, because for some reason or another, it hasn't tripped that. I don't know. Personally, I don't know what goes into the buy and sell calculations here, but I do know that the data right here in the heat map is like the most valuable thing you've ever seen. So that's how I would have traded it in and out of Tesla. Now, let's see your stock picks, right? Let's see your stock picks here. We got Hershey, HSY. We talked about that one last week. What's going on with Hershey? Is somebody pumping that one lately? Who is pumping Hershey? Okay, got that buy signal. Let me zoom in on the 3-month chart. So buy signal came on February 12th with a fear value at R37, deep in the fear. It goes from 0 to 50, so deep in the fear. Any red, I would exit at a G13. So we haven't hit that point yet. So R37, and it's all the way up to today, it's at R21. So from that regard, it still has a lot of room to run. And you can see here, the trend template did just cross over 10, 20, 50, crossing north. So if you were running this one, here's a great example. Here's a great example. Remove all annotations, right? If a stock is going down, you don't have to buy it or even hold it when it's going down. Wait, just wait until it finds its bottom, its trend template crosses the 10 over the 20, price over the 50, move in the opposite direction. And look, you can get in here when it's having strength. Buy high, sell higher. That's how the game works. Hey, JG made $1,000 on Hershey calls last Friday. Let's go. We don't cover Nifty, unfortunately, not yet at least. Jeremy is. Oh, Jeremy's covering Hershey. Oh, okay. Good to see you, Nate. Let's see. What do y'all talk? Uber. I know a lot of people have been talking about Uber lately. Is anybody pushing Uber out there on the YouTubes? Here's the thing with Uber. It's got this order block running into double overhead order block right here. This is one I wouldn't buy with your money, right? We do have the 10, 20, 50 crossed up, but right here, you can see that was your real entry signal, right? That was your real entry. If you're only looking at the charts, this is an entry signal here. And then it ran up, hit this order block. Now, what do you know? Rejected. Tell me order blocks don't work. You can't tell me order blocks don't work. Order blocks are coming in Outlier real soon. Our ETA is for March. We're really trying to make that happen. We're getting a whole new charting package in here. So honestly, I'd never have to use TrendSpider again, which I'm stoked about. But you can see the greed value has gotten ultra high, ultra high. Let's go look at that real quick. The greed value on Hershey, I mean, it went from R1 up to R32 in the span of just a few days, and now it's starting to contract. So this is one Uber. I think I said Hershey a minute ago. Uber is one I would be staying away from for sure, because right now it looks like it's going to be really struggling right here. It looks like Greg wants to look at SE. This was one of Kathy Woods' stocks. I remember this a while ago. In fact, there's some notes I made way back in 2022. I was buying puts on it. It looks like that's pretty crazy. Let me remove all my annotations here. But yeah, this was a Kathy Wood stock ages ago. I don't know if it still is. See, this is what you want to see. In fact, let's zoom out a little bit. Oh man, this is round tripped all over the place, hasn't it? So this would be your stage 1 sideways consolidation pattern. Let me show you what I mean. The market cycle here. Your stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Now, stage 1 happened here. Stage 2 is moving up right now. When the moving averages start to cross, like it did right here, that's a stage 3. And then stage 4 is obviously the decline. So let's look at C right now, SE. It's got earnings in a couple days. This one, though, it had a close under the 10-period moving average. So that is actually a sell signal for me. That is a closing signal for me. And we talked a while ago about how it's important to have those closing signals, 10 EMA being broken, and like and making that move when you get that signal, right? Because if you were to make that move, let's say for example, let's say down here at 115-ish, let's say that you were like, oh, I need to close it now. Dude, your close was $10 ago. $10 ago makes a giant difference if you don't pay attention to when you need to get out, right? That's the situation where it's like this. I hope you guys like how I pull up slides. I try and make it useful. Where's my slide? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where is my slide? Hang on. It's the one where Minervini's talking about there it is. Getting caught, right? Knowing that you need to take your loss right here, not doing so because you think it's going to go back up, but you get caught way, way, way down here, right? That's why having your exit signal before you ever get in can lead to much better returns than you would otherwise. Let's go. Who else is in there? I can't do nifty mid cap. I don't have access to that. Kick this guy. Okay, hang on. I haven't done this before. Nothing personal, but I want to try something. Put user in timeout. Okay, he's in timeout. Okay, nothing personal. I hope you don't take it personal. I just wanted to try it. Okay, APLD. We talked about this one last week, I think. Right, this is the one where I said if it closes over that order block, I would be interested. Right, I said it could do something like this. It could do something like that black dotted line right there. Could do something like that. But that's not what we're seeing, right? And so I really, really, really want you to understand, because I had somebody leave me some really ugly YouTube comments that's like, you said when it breaks over the order block that it's going to go up forever. Bro, I will never tell you that, ever. First off, it didn't close over that order block. Did it break through? Yes, but it also ended up inside of the order block right here. This is not a trade I would buy with your money at all until it starts getting higher, right? Once it starts showing the strength through this overhead supply area. This overhead supply area is telling you people want to sell. When price comes up into here and it keeps getting rejected over and over and over and over, it's telling you this is a difficult area to go through. Okay, just relax. There's no point in like screaming into a stock right now when the market is really struggling, when market breadth is struggling, right? Dude, we had to close under the 20 on the SPY. This is a sell everything and hold cash. This right here is a humongous red flag. This is one of my rules of do not dare buy anything right now. Do not dare buy anything. That is my rule of, where's it at? That is my rule of get out of everything. If it closes under the 20, wait to put on new trades until it closes back over the 10 EMA again. I don't know when that's going to be, but the 10 EMA is the indicator of your short-term trend. I've been telling you for a while now. The market has been struggling for 2 solid months. And now I started to see more posts in the Discord that other YouTubers are starting to talk about market breadth. So interesting as the market is starting to get weaker. Although we called this weakness of market breadth ages ago, this weakness of market breadth I called on January 27th. Go back to the video on that date and call me a liar because you're not going to be able to. I got receipts. I said market breadth has peaked. I'm going to cash for a while. Market breadth has been going down. The market has been struggling sideways for months at this point. Why would you put in any money in the market when the market is having a very, very, very difficult time going anywhere? Sorry, I'll hold cash all day, every day. But you said spam the chat. Oh, you're right, I did. Now I feel bad. Can I unban that person? I didn't ban them. They were just in timeout. I don't know how long they're in timeout. Maybe it's just for the rest of the episode. You're right. I did say spam the chat. Spamming it like 5 times. Okay, but not 50. All right, cool. Just curious. For some of the cases, you recommend to close under the 10, the 20. Oh, no. I personally close everything under the 10. If the market closes under the 20, then I'm not even interested in looking for new trades. I'm not interested in looking for new trades at all. Because if the market is breaking its if the market's breaking its short-term and intermediate term moving averages, both of them, the market's not going to hold up everybody else. If the market starts going down, it's going to take everybody else with it, right? A rising tide lifts all ship. A falling tide shows who's swimming naked. And I think a lot of people are realizing, wait a minute, I think I am swimming naked right now. Which could be tons of fun. It could be tons of fun, just like getting the annual pass for 64% off, which is only 82 cents a day. And if you're on a trial, you could upgrade. Just shoot us an email. We'll take care of the rest. But you know what? I need you to remember that only price pays, right? Other channels are going to talk about how great the story is, how great the fundamentals are, how great all this bullcrap is, but only price pays at the end of the day. Only price pays. So be sure to come back tomorrow. We'll help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. Now, YouTube is going to pop up a couple recommended videos. I recommend you watch one of those, and I also recommend you have a fantastic day.